How's it going, everyone? If you clicked on this video, you're probably a roofing contractor, and you clicked on it because you're looking for more metal roofing leads or finding ways to specifically generate metal roofing leads. Metal roofing is a pretty good niche that you can really go after because you usually have better margins. You deal with higher quality, more premium customers. I've managed millions of dollars in ad spend for roofing contractors at the end of the day, and what I realized is that obviously it's super competitive and it can still work very well, but sometimes in some markets, choosing kind of like a sub niche like metal roofing, even stuff like synthetic slate, can be really good because it kind of like gives you an opportunity to stand out and go after like a subgroup of people, very certain customers that are looking for a specific product. So it's just going to be naturally much easier to kind of like cut through the competition and get good results with your advertising. I'm going to give you a lot of value in terms of what ads to run, like how to do this, how to approach this. If you need help with anything when it comes to roofing, advertising, marketing, lead generation, let it be on the metal roofing side or just roofing in general, feel free to book a call with me. First link in the description. Happy to have a free strategy session with you. But yeah, for now, let's just dive in. So first of all, why metal roofing specifically? I mean, you can look at like a lot of different products. Metal roofing is just like a pretty great niche when it comes to advertising and lead generation specifically, because on the one hand, it's less competitive, like I was just saying, like it's just more specific. It's a specific product. So there are people out there that have metal roofs that need a metal roof expert to get their roof replaced, or maybe even people who have a shingled roof who just want to upgrade to a metal roof because of all of the benefits that I'll walk you through in a second. So there's so many angles that you can really choose, and there's genuinely people out there looking for that product, but not a lot of advertising that's tailored to the product of metal roofing. Obviously there is, like, with any other product that's out there, but a lot of the roofing advertising specifically is just going to be broad. So you're going to be talking to somebody that's specifically looking for this, which obviously cuts your competition, dramatically, which makes things a lot easier. You're probably going to get cheaper leads, and it's just going to be easier. Then the second point, you're probably going to get higher quality, like more premium customers, because usually when it comes to like premium products, like, a metal roof, there's going to be less price shoppers because they already know, okay, I'm not looking for like bottom of the barrel shingle roof, like the cheapest thing I can get. Willingly, paying a little more for a roof so I can save more money in the long run and I just have the better quality product. And a lot of the times the people that do that are the ones that have more money, that know that, to get quality, they need to, invest a premium price. So it's going to be easier to deal with those. They're going to be easier to close a lot of the times, paying cash, financing, whatever it is. Just going to be, naturally, an easier customer base, if that makes sense. And you're just going to avoid like a lot of those price shoppers. They get like 20 quotes just picking the cheapest one. The next benefit that I've seen when running those ads is referral potential. So obviously on the front end, you can always look at, okay, what does it take to generate a lead? And then you can look at the ROI, like how much did I invest into advertising and how much did I actually make from that? But then in the back end, there's something that a lot of people don't look at, which is essentially just obviously like the referrals that come from that. Like if I invest $500 to get a metal roofing job back out of the advertising, and that metal roofing job, gets me like 2, 3, 4 referrals, that's really good. And usually what you see with those like more premium customers is they're going to be in more premium neighborhoods and they have a network of other premium customers at the end of the day. So if you do a good job and people see their, stunning looking metal roof on the street and they have other friends and, they're very satisfied with what you did, the referral potential is just naturally going to be a lot higher. At least that's what I've seen. Then obviously, we already went over this, more revenue, higher margins. Like on metal roofs, you're just going to make more. I think that's pretty easy. And the good thing about like lead generation and advertising is that kind of like gives you obviously more cash flow to reinvest into advertising and actually scale your campaign. Because again, the margins are better. You're dealing with more premium customers that a lot of the times, maybe even like, retail jobs, like, paying cash. Obviously not all of the time, but, really helps to kind of like keep the flow going and just scale the campaign up. And then last but not least, I mean, obviously another kind of like logistical thing, there's less issues with warranties and stuff like that where you install like a shingle roof and then, you get issues, especially in states, like Florida, where there's like a lot of storms and stuff. But either way, so that's, I guess, why I think it's pretty straightforward and probably makes sense to most of you guys. So to go over some results, like, I've been doing this a couple times now. Like, again, I work with a lot of roofing contractors. We run different kinds of campaigns for different kinds of products, a lot of broad campaigns too that really do great. But I actually rolled out like a metal roofing campaign for a company, in Florida. And what I've seen is, again, like, for all of those factors that I just listed, is that it really worked pretty well. Not necessarily, like, even with, like, broader campaigns, you can see, like, a ton of success and similar results, but I think what's still, like, surprising, like, you can really get, like, a cheaper cost per lead, obviously, because it's less competition, and for that company, we had, like, a 30x ROI, which is pretty crazy, because think about it, it's not so crazy. Like, you can see we spent, like, $1,500 on advertising, we got 37 leads, so on average, we paid $40 for a lead, which is definitely achievable, if you do advertising like that, really, like, tailored to, like, a very specific need. Obviously, we had some pre-qualification, like, you probably can get leads for way cheaper, but I like adding some qualification, which I'm going to walk you through here in a second, and that really made it easier because we got like higher quality leads. And at the end of the day, like out of those 37 leads, obviously not everybody's going to be perfect, but if you close even just one like big project, or let's just say like 2, 3 good metal roofing projects, like your return on investment is going to be crazy. So that's really like obviously where we're coming from with this, and it's working very well right now. to go over like some angles and benefits that you can use for the advertising, because I'm going to walk you through some advertising in a second here. I think that's, again, like pretty straightforward. I still want to cover it so you know have some ideas in terms of like how to approach this when you push out ads, because we don't just want to put out an ad, because that's like pretty, you know, generic, like putting out an ad saying, you know, get a metal roof or free quote for a metal roof. Chances are that's not really going to work. Like, you really need to sell people on it as well. So for example, like some things that you can use, you know, shingle roofs, like people, you know, reasons why people might be frustrated with a shingle roof or want a metal roof is because shingle roof just needs to be, you know, obviously replaced more frequently, costing them more money in the long run. So that's a great angle that you can use. Small annoying repairs and leaks that just, you know, happen, especially in an area where there's like frequent storms. Then obviously higher risk, you know, if we're talking about like water damage, mold, wood rot, and even like, you know, other dangers and risks. And where's warranties generally? While on the other hand, like with metal roofing, it lasts a lifetime. Like that's a great angle that I've seen a lot of companies also use when it comes to metal roofing advertising, as they call it like the lifetime roof or something like that. And I mean, it's true. Like, you know, it can really, like, especially, you know, if you're talking to people that are like mid-age, like chances are they're, you know, if they're, depending on what area they live in, they will never really need another roof again. So it's going to save them like a ton of money in the long run, considering that with a shingle roof, they might need to get it replaced a couple more times. Then less hassle and trouble when it comes to like, you know, storm damage. They just got more peace of mind. Great warranties usually. Energy savings is also an angle that I really like, especially if we look at like, you know, for example, Florida, where obviously like, you know, sun's shining. So, a metal roof can really help with, you know, energy savings and stuff like that too. And then stuff like curb appeal and even home value is obviously also like a big factor. Like people even, you know, planning like in the future to sell their home, wanting to increase the home value, or just like curb appeal wise, just want the home to look better. So in terms of what platform to run, I would definitely say like social media has the upper hand here, because Google can definitely work. I've run some metal roofing campaigns on Google, but the thing is that on Google, you're kind of like obviously limited, because you have, if we look at like a PPC ad, of course, like YouTube ads and stuff like that might be a little different. Might do a video on that in the future, but when it comes to like traditional like Google PPC ads, you essentially just have the keywords. So you just type in like the keywords, you know, you have your own keyword group, and you do like metal roofing, metal roofers, metal roofing near me, and all of those keywords. And then you put a budget behind it, and you're just hoping like if somebody searches for a metal roof that you pop up. That can work very well, to be clear with you, but usually on Google, first of all, it requires a higher budget for the most part, because you need a lot of conversions and some time before it actually starts to kick off. And then the second thing is that, especially in a competitive area, like a lot of like big contractors that spend like a ton of money are on Google, and all of those contractors that spend like a ton of money on Google are trying to rank like for the same kind of keywords. So if we go after something specific like metal roofing, there's only so many people searching for that. And if there are like so many roofers out there spending so much money on Google because they really got it dialed in and they've been doing it for a long time, it's going to be hard to just start a campaign targeting the same keywords that they do, you know, spending way less money and, you know, really getting a good piece of the pie essentially. So social media on the other hand is like way better, because it's like you essentially have the power of having an ad. Like you have an actual video or an actual image and an actual text and even like a funnel and landing page that you can really specifically tailor to what people are looking for. Now the good thing is, if your ad is good and if your ad is better than a competitor's ad, even if you're spending 10 times less than them, you're probably still going to crush them. So the good thing is that there's not a lot of competition when it comes to like people running specific metal roofing ads. Like again, like a lot of people will just run like more generic ads, which is also fine, but you're just kind of like going to stick out, and people who are really like looking for a metal roof, they're going to see it and they're going to respond to it. And it doesn't matter if you're spending $50 a day or $500 a day, they're going to respond to it, and Facebook's going to find you more people like that, which is obviously really like a huge advantage that you really have when you know run like social media ads. So to show you like some examples, those are just like some image ads examples. You can pretty much ignore them, but like image ads can already like work pretty well. Like you can see right here, like one angle that I saw a lot, which I used myself, is like this forever metal roof or lifetime metal roof angle, where you just tell them, okay, you know, this is the last roof you'll ever need, more or less. And then obviously there's stuff like, you know, like pricing, you know, offers and that stuff that you can do. I found a company that really specializes in this, that runs a ton of like metal roofing advertisements. It's not a company that I work with full transparency. I'm not like gonna just show like, you know, the companies that I'm working with on this channel, but still want to walk you through because I think they did a great job at it, and I certainly took some inspiration from them. So let's see. So the company I'm talking about, they're called Gator Metal Roofing, and they're already like their Facebook page is already named like Gator Metal Roofing. I think that's like a whole like just metal roofing company, which is pretty smart because it's like really you're positioning yourself in terms of the market as like the expert in just one thing. It's kind of like the doctor, you know, analogy where, you know, if you got a problem with your heart, would you rather go to like a general doctor or somebody who specializes in, you know, heart disease? Probably the one who, you know, specializes in that, like the heart surgeon. So that's really the reason why something like this is pretty smart, but you don't need to do it like that. But in general, like they do a great job in terms of this advertising. So I still wanted to show you this like as an example and walk you through like what they do, for example. So let's just go through some of those. Right here, you know, it already, like if we just look at the copy, it's it all starts off with considering a metal roof. So it's already going after like a very specific subgroup of people, like people who just need a new roof or just thinking about getting like some kind of roof code are probably not going to be responsive to this. It's going to be the people that are looking for a metal roof, and then, you know, they can, you know, add like a couple things to kind of like make it like a little more attractive. But let's look at some ads, because those at the top, those are like actual video ads. So we can start with the one on the left here.
Any of my friends that need a metal roof that's a lifetime roof, that is a good roof, hurricane proof, and excellent customer service, GoHighLevel Metal Roofing is the place to go. It's just like having an umbrella in the rain. It protects you and it protects my belongings in the house.
Yes.
And I'm not getting any younger, I'm getting older. And to be maintenance free is one of the things that I'd like. And that metal roof is going to be there forever. So
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
And a neighbor up the street has a metal roof. And that's another thing that made me want to get it. And they're a little bit older than I am. And, you know, with age comes wisdom. So I jumped on the bandwagon.
So you can already see like how powerful this is, because it's like a whole video. Like this was like kind of like a testimonial style video, which I think is like absolutely amazing, because like not a lot of people run those testimonial types of videos, like interview videos. And I mean, it's like firsthand, like a customer sharing their experience and like the reasons why they went, you know, with a metal roof. And you can see like he kind of like listed all of those like things that we just talked about, you know, like it's the last roof you really, you know, ever need. Like he's getting older and his neighbor also got a roof, and you know, those are like all just factors that are maybe even like people that didn't even consider a metal roof, like, you know, gonna sell them on like, okay, maybe this might be a good idea. So yeah, definitely like a super powerful ad. And then so let's look at another one.
This is the third complete roof I have put on my house since I've been here. I've had shingle roofs before, and wind come, shingles blow off and they wear out.
So this ad probably, like, if you ask me, is probably made with AI. Like you can even see like you don't even need like crazy stuff like customer testimonials. Like it really sounds like it's just like an AI voiceover, which you can easily kind of like replicate or have somebody do it for you. Cool thing is about that, like, you know, you see like how they use like different angles. Like this was a testimonial. This one right here, it's kind of like a voiceover where he's talking about like we had a shingle roof in the past and shingles blew off. So it's probably going to be kind of like this shingle roof versus metal roof kind of like angle, where, you know, he's listing like all the things that are just like not really good with shingle roof versus, you know, how the metal roof improves that, which is obviously a super strong angle. We can go through this, like, you know, they have a ton of videos. You can see like how many ads they run. Like this is where you can really get some inspiration. Like, you know, like you can see, like, I think they really had like a lot of like testimonial videos on here that they can hit people with like over and over again.
We're on the other side of 50 now, so when we're going to do a roof, we knew we wanted a metal roof. I truly believe this will be our last roof, but
Yes.
so why do it 2 or 3 more times when you can do it with just a metal roof? It's absolutely worth the investment, because at the end of the day, it is an investment. You're protecting your insides, the outside, you're protecting the bones of your home. And if you're only going to do it one time, why not go with a metal roof? So we do flex pay with our electricity, where we're just having like $13 days. And now, even though we're having those extremely high temperatures, we're down in the down to $9 and $10 days, which might not seem like a significant difference, but if you take 30 times 4, yes.
So again, kind of like, you know, customer kind of like interview testimonial, and you can easily get those if you know, have a couple customers like that. And you know, you can see like how many points were touched again. Like I can just keep going like this probably for hours. Like this time they talked about like the electricity bill, like the energy savings. They were, you know, talking about like, again, having just one roof replacement to protect your home for the rest of your life. Like there's so many good angles that you can choose with this, and like there's genuinely reasons why people want to pay more for a metal roof. And you just got to address those, because there's not a lot of advertisers really doing this like that specific and this dialed in. So, you know, why not kind of like go after that subgroup of people that have the money, that want to invest the money in a better roof, by just talking about it in the advertising. And you can see they also got like some image ads that you can do, like all like super like based around metal roofing. You can use AI for a lot of this stuff. I might do like another video in the future kind of like showing you how to create some of those ads, but at the end of the day, you know, you can either do it yourself or you get an agency or somebody to help you with that. But yeah, you can see like how this types of advertising really works. And last time I want to walk you through is the landing page. So I talk about this on my channel a lot. Obviously, like I'm a big fan of using a landing page for my advertisements, because like for the most part, I mean, you're selling a pretty high ticket, you know, product, like a premium product in this case, which is a metal roof. So obviously you want to appear high quality. Like if you just have like a Facebook messaging ad or like an instant form, it usually looks relatively unprofessional. And again, that's what like every roofer in their grandma is running, because it's like easy to set up. So having like a clean, good looking landing page in the first hand, you know, will really help you to convert those like higher quality customers. And on top of that, we have a landing page that's actually specifically tailored towards metal roofing. So we have a headline saying, you know, the lifetime metal roof free quote. So you can see like we're already addressing that angle, because we want it to be congruent. Like if they click on an ad that talks about metal roofing and the benefits, we want the whole landing page to be about metal roofing, because that's really what they clicked on and that's what they want to learn more about. So headline is about that. Then it says Sarasota metal roofer. You know, we kind of like have this thing, the survey, kind of like walk them through, ask them a couple of questions, pre-qualifying them. Then from there, you know, we want to give them like some credibility stuff about our company. And then even like on the reviews, like you can see I specifically put metal, you know, roof reviews on here. So they're talking about like, you know, we had our metal roof installed by them and could be happier. They answered all our questions and it was great to work with them. You know, and then just reviews kind of like talking about the benefits of metal roofing. And then you can obviously like put some, you know, pictures of metal roofing on here, even when it comes to the next steps, you know, like have those elements flow into it. So that will really help you. You can probably even do like a whole section just like explaining like why metal roofing is, you know, a good investment and why you should do it. So much you can really do. I would just say like put some effort into the funnel as well, because that's really gonna ultimately gonna give you like a higher quality lead, and you can really like pre-sell people on the product on a page like this too. Because if somebody's just like, you know, maybe you spark their attention with the ad when it comes to the metal roof, because they maybe were looking for, you know, in the market for like a cheap shingle roof, and then they saw your ad and they, you know, already got like 5 quotes and they don't know what to choose, but then they saw your ad and, you know, they read through all of this and you can really pre-sell them. Like I can tell you right now, like even on the back end, I would recommend setting up like some nurturing. Would be too much to cover in this video, but some like emails that you send out, testimonials you send out, all that kind of stuff, and we'll maybe even like get them over the fence to, again, like take a little more money, you know, and invest into a premium product. So I think it's a great niche to be in, especially going into 2026, because again, it's relatively, like, obviously a lot of people do it, advertise for it, but it's still relatively untapped towards like, you know, looking at like other directions when it comes to roofing marketing. Obviously, you also got to know the market for it is a lot smaller, because there's just like a lot more people generally looking for, you know, a normal shingle roof, or if you have like broad messaging and broad advertising, you're probably just going to reach a lot more people. But I think it can still be, at least, you know, as a separate campaign to what you're already running, can be really a very effective thing. So that's pretty much it for the video. I hope this was helpful and all made sense. If you got any questions about anything regarding roofing marketing whatsoever, drop it down below in the comments. I'm usually in there, you know, answering all the questions. So just let me know. And you can also book your free strategy session with me personally. First link in the description. Essentially, you can just, you know, like book your call. We'll sit down for an hour, talk about your roofing business, see how we can help you. And, you know, if not, that's also totally fine. Again, you can just, you know, keep enjoying my free content, trying to upload like once a week, putting some value out there, especially going to 2026, like how to, you know, leverage advertising and lead generation and do it the right way. So you actually, you know, hit an ROI and can grow your roofing company to the next level. So again, hope it was helpful and you have a nice day.